All right, let's talk about something we've all been through. That moment when you find the perfect command online, you copy it, you paste it into your terminal, you hit enter, and nothing. It just fails. Today, we're going to dig into why that feels so incredibly frustrating and, more importantly, find a much better way to handle it. And this quote it nails it, right? These tiny little shell issues create these huge, outsized emotional reactions. And it's because the problem looks so simple. It's just one line of text. But the reason it failed feels like a complete mystery. It's that combination that drives us crazy. Ah, yes, this old friend. We have all seen this message, or something just like it. It's the universal symbol for, well, so much for that plan. It's the starting pistol for a race down a rabbit hole of confusion and random guessing. But what if I told you there's a much more methodical and, frankly, saner way to approach this moment? Okay, so first things first, we have to recognize that when a command fails, our brains immediately fall into a pretty predictable mental trap. And honestly, just being aware that this trap exists is the first real step to getting out of it. And this trap, it leads us right down a path we'll call the blame game dead end. It feels like it gives us two choices right away. But as we're about to see, neither of them actually gets you any closer to a solution. So here's that fork in the road. On one side, we blame our tools. You know the feeling, this tutorial must be ancient, the guide is wrong, this is useless, and we give up. On the other side, we blame ourselves. Man, I'm just not cut out for this, I'm terrible. See, both of these are dead ends. They just stop learning completely. But here's the thing. What if there's a third option, a better path, that has nothing to do with blame at all, and everything to do with just observation? This right here is the key idea for our whole explainer today. And this is the huge mindset shift we're talking about. The problem isn't a person, and it's not a document. It is a simple, totally neutral mismatch. That's it. The command just assumed one thing about your system, maybe a certain tool or a specific version, and your system, your environment, had something different. No blame, no drama, just a factual difference. So what do you actually do with this new way of thinking? Well, here's your new game plan. The very next time this happens, step 1. You consciously reject those first two thoughts. It's not the guide, it's not you. Step 2, just assume it's an environment mismatch. And step 3, you start asking neutral questions. Am I using the shell it expects? Is this program actually in my system's path? Do I have the right version of this tool installed? I love this because it's such a powerful way to reframe what failure even is. That error message, it's not a judgment, it's just a fact. It's the first truly honest piece of data you've received about the gap between what's assumed and what's real on your machine. So it's not a stop sign, it's a signpost, pointing you exactly where you need to look. All right, so we've got the mindset down. That's the foundation. Now let's get practical and build a toolkit on top of it, a method you can use every single time this happens. The very first rule of this toolkit, and maybe the most important, is this. Before you start mashing keys and frantically trying 5 other things, just pause, stop, and classify the problem by asking one simple question. What exactly did I just change? Let's think of this like a little mental calculator. Let's say the command was working a minute ago, and all you did was change a flag. Maybe you added a -v for verbose. Okay, that's one change. Your mental calculator now reads 1. Or maybe you also changed the file path you were pointing it at. Or you switched from your normal user to the root user. Each of those is another variable, another +1 for your mental calculator. So I want you to ask yourself this question and be really honest. Since the last time this command worked perfectly, what is the grand total of things you changed? Was it just 1? Was it 2? Maybe 3? And here's the answer from our little calculator. If your total is greater than 1, your ability to figure out what actually caused the problem has just plummeted, right? Because if you changed the flag and the path, you have absolutely no idea which one was the real culprit. So here is the crucial move. Your next step is not to add a third change. No, it's to go backward. Get back to the last version of the command that you know worked. Then change only one thing and run it again. Then go back and change the other thing and run it. You have to isolate your variables. It's literally the scientific method, but for your command line. You see, this whole method, this whole process, it does way more than just fix the one error that's in front of you. It actually starts to fundamentally change how you learn and grow from these little moments of friction. This gets right to the heart of it all. Frantically trying random things is just louder guessing. You're just hoping something, anything, will stick. Real skill, the kind that lasts, comes from asking better, more methodical questions like, what did I change? What does this command assume? And what does my environment actually have? Just look at this comparison. You can burn an hour trying 5 different commands, collecting 5 different error messages, and at the end of it, learn almost nothing. That's shallow. Or you could spend that same hour on that one initial failure, digging in to find out exactly why it happened, and in the process, truly understand a core concept. That is deep learning. And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway here. The goal should never be to just memorize 1,000 commands. The most powerful habit you can possibly build is to learn the conditions that make a command work. What does it need to run? What kind of environment does it expect to see? Understanding the context is so much more valuable than just memorizing the syntax. So I'll just leave you with this thought. The next time you see command not found, don't see it as a failure. See it for what it is, an honest piece of information, an opportunity. It's your computer trying to talk to you, telling you a truth about itself that you didn't know a second ago. The only question left is, are you ready to listen?